both of you somehow found each other as 6+ billion people in this planet, and you fell in love with each other. And now you're being dropped down into a garden of marriage so you can grow your marriage the way you want it to be. You came from families, so you've had some experiences with that. And you've also seen your friends and their parents and how they related with each other with marriages. So you know some good things and some bad things about marriage. And hopefully it's good things. All right. I know that myself, I'm halfway through my 47th year of marriage. Okay, so I'm continuing to grow strong. All right, so anyway, I'm not saying that to boast or anything like that. I'm just saying that it can be done. All right, so the two of you fell in love with each other. And in marriage, we talk about cleaving together, which means you're accepting each other for who you are today. That means everything that's happened to you in the past, you're accepting, and everything that will happen to you in the future, you're accepting of each other. This is your marriage fire pit. If you liken each other to a fire log, so when you bring fire logs together, you get a bigger blaze, brighter and happier. And that's what's happened to you. You cleaving together. You're accepting each other's families. All right. And so your families are happy too. And they're watching, and we need to make sure you get started growing together as a couple. Now there's some work that you have to do for marriage. The marriage work is this. You open up your hearts to each other. Your mind, your eyes, your ears, your voice, your nose, and even your emotions to each other. And your hearts are the firewall to your fire pit. So if you're having an emotionally challenging day, your firewall comes down. All right. So if you awaken one morning and you feel like you're not important, then your firewall is down. So what do you do about that? Well, we have some things you have to do about that. First off, it's a negative emotion. So you call it out. You say, okay, I don't feel like I'm important today. And then you say, was it something I drank last night? Was it something I ate? Was it the way I slept? Is it something else? And you decided something else. So you call up your work, which is your chore work. See, the world is based upon money. Okay. And so you work for money. And that's a really flimsy foundation because you may lose your job or change jobs 7 to 10 times in your entire life. And you're constantly breaking it and constantly trying to get it fixed back together so you can do the things you need to do. So that's your chore work. But chore work is mandate work. Mandate work means you got to be here at 6 a.m. in the morning, and you got to take your lunch at 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and you've got to do this way, and we need this done before you go home today, so you may have to stay overtime. Mandates, okay? The two of you, Camille and Roceli, offer suggestions to each other. So if you see that things aren't going quite right, you say, oh, may I make a suggestion? So you say, yeah, Camille, here, try this. You're saying, Roceli, try this. Okay? You're making suggestions. It's softer, it's nicer, it's sweeter. All right, so anyway, you have this chore work you're doing, which you use to pay for your errands, okay? Errands are things like buying groceries to eat, shelter, clothes to wear, transportation, okay? Even being able to go out to a restaurant and have dinner, or going on a date, or doing some sports or hobbies or interests or something like that. See, that's what you're using that money for. You're also honoring your families. You're accepting each other's families. So Camille, you're accepting Roceli's family. And you do that by remembering birthdays and anniversaries and celebrations and parties and jubilations, but also broken bones and sickness and death and sacrifices and things like that. So you're honoring all those things and you let him know that. And that helps the family to feel important. Then on top of this, the two of you coming together as a couple. Okay, you're looking each other in the eyes and you're holding each other's hands. And as you do that, if I was to stand there with you and take a picture, I would see the silhouette of a marriage heart. Starts on the chin and goes up above the eyes and down below the chest. That's your marriage heart. Okay, and that works because you're cleaving together. So if you're hugging each other tight, it still works. If you're separated by miles, as there will be some cases, your marriage heart still works because you've been investing in each other. So always invest in each other, okay? And then you have some lessons to learn. You learn to love each other, okay? You think you're in love now, but wait till you learn to love each other. And that's the the good and the bad of both of you, you're learning to love that. You're learning to accept your differences. Typically, when a couple comes together, Camille and Roceli, that Camille, your weaknesses are Roceli's strengths. Roceli's your weaknesses are her strengths. So you complement each other, and you can do way more things together than you could ever do apart. So that's one of the reasons to be married. That's one of the reasons to be partners. All right. So the next challenge is through your love for each other and through your experiences, you're going to learn patience with each other. If you make each other angry with words you say out of your mouth, apologize. Don't go to bed together angry, but continue to go to bed together as partners. Okay, so always do that together. All right. And sometimes you may want to give up on some project you've been working on, and it may not be the best idea. So you're going to have to point out to each other and say, hey, really, you're just so close to finishing this up. Finish it up. Make it nice and wonderful like you planned it. Help each other. So you're teaching perseverance to each other. Sometimes you're going to have such happy things happen to you, and you're just going to be laughing and laughing and laughing. And other times you may be crying and crying and crying. Okay? So learn to forgive each other, appreciate and respect your differences, because that's what makes you unique. And when the two of you are unique, you can do a lot of interesting and amazing things together as a couple. So be aware of that. And I challenge you to at least go on a date every week, especially as you get older. It's harder as you get older because you have more things going at you, because you're responsible citizens. You're choosing to get married. You're responsible citizens. You take on other responsibilities from other people. You say, oh, I can help you do that. I can do this. We can do this together. So you're taking on more responsibilities, but you're helping each other always. Please make all your major decisions and choices together as a couple. All right? Don't come home with big, expensive toys and surprises and expect each other to like each other that way. No, make sure you make those decisions before you buy. And if you can't afford it, don't buy it. Okay? Because the idea here is you want to be able to have a productive and nice life, so you want to do the things that you can. All right? So please don't treat each other. Okay, let's go this way. Validate each other. What is a validation? A validation is a hold of the hand. I'm surmising you're holding hands under the camera view that I'm not seeing. Okay? Yes, see, I thought you were. All right. So you're a hold of the hand, a look in the eye, a hug, a card, a kiss, a call, a text, a flower, a chocolate, a trip to the beauty salon occasionally. Okay, keep the car full of gas so you can get where you need to go. Help each other through your struggles and your ambitions and your desires and your failures and your rejections. Okay, treat each other with love and respect yourself, and you can do amazing things together. All right. So don't treat each other as a project. Okay. Project is like you're going to college and you're graduating with a bachelor's degree. So you have this thesis you have to write, this project you have to do. You have to present it before the professors to have them say, yep, she knows enough to get her degree. She gets her bachelor's degree. Okay, so that's a project. An object is what we have in the back window back here. It represents three things that take place in March. One of those is the Ides of March, where Brutus and his cohorts kill Caesar on his throne, or the throne room, or whatever it is. Okay, that's called the Ides of March. The middle one is St. Patty's Day, coming up on the 17th of this month, and that's where you're supposed to wear green when you get pinched. Now, anyway, that's what it's just kind of a fun thing. All right. The other one represents Lent, where people give up or fast for 40 days off of an item, such as red meat or liquor or something like that. They give that up for 40 days in symbolism of Jesus Christ and his fast. Okay, so those things, three things are this month. When the end of the month's over, that will go away. That's an object that gets put away, and we'll pull it out next year. All right, or we throw it away and we just make a new one next year. So anyway, that's an object. You're not putting each other on display. You're not saying, look who my bride is. or look who my partner is, look who my partner is. No. And you're putting them away sometimes because you're tired of them. No, you're never doing that. You're not an object and you're not a project. And lastly, a task. This is a true story. All right, we do in-office weddings here. With in-office weddings, I'm going to check something out real fast. Here's some okay. So, yeah, with weddings, when people schedule this room, we tell them they can bring 10 guests plus themselves as a couple, and we provide the officiant. That's a total of 13. Last November, we had a group come in with 40 guests, 40. We don't have 40 chairs in our whole quadrant of this building. So I had to take them outside. It's November, and the temperature outside, I know because I had to look at my phone because we have 30 minutes for each ceremony. And taking people across the street sometimes takes 15 minutes, and getting them back takes time and all this other stuff. So anyway, I took them across the street. I was able to get them together, and I counseled them real fast. And then I talked to the groom, and I asked the groom if he'd take the bride to be his wife. And he said yes. I didn't expect anything different. And then I went to the bride. And that's as far as I got with her, because what happened next just floored me. Her phone was making a buzzing sound in her purse back on the picnic table behind us. She buttered her way through. She picked up her purse. She brought it out front. She set it down. She fished down. She pulled out her phone. She punched the numbers. She started talking. Then she grabbed her purse and she walked into the adjacent building, leaving everybody else outside. I turned to the groom and I said, "Are you going after her?" And he said, "Oh, no, I can't do that. No, that'll make her angry and upset." And you know what's her angry and upset? Horrible, horrible, horrible things happen when she's angry and upset. I'm just like, sounds like this woman has some serious anger issues. All right. So anyway, he said, "We're waiting for her." 15 minutes later, she came back out. Okay, I turned to the groom again. I says, "Do you take her to be your legally and lawfully wedded wife?" He said, "Yes." I turned to her. I said, "Do you take her or him to be your legally and lawfully wedded husband?" And she said yes. And then I had him exchange rings and say vows, and I pronounced them husband and wife. 3.5 minutes later, I was finished. That's all I needed to do the first time. Even if her house was burning down, there's nothing she could do about it, because by the time she got there, it'd be burned down. It doesn't make any difference, okay? But what she said is, "Mr. Spouse, my phone is more important than you'll ever be in my married life." Okay, so I wanted him to say no, but he said yes. So I married him. So I haven't heard anything from him. But I tell you that story because I don't treat each other as a task. Oh, I have to talk to her. Oh, I have to do this. No, you're not a task. You're a person you're both persons with feelings and interests and talents and skills and weaknesses and strengths. And you can support each other and help each other to create an amazing life. So you're not, the only thing that's more important than the two of you, Camille and Roceli, is if you believe in a higher supreme being such as God, Jesus Christ, or some other person. Okay? Then it's you. Then it's your extended family. Then it's your friends and associates. It's work. I mean, work can even get in the way of the two of you. Education can get in the way of the two of you. Sports or hobbies or interests can get in the way of the two of you. Don't let that happen. Like I said, you're going to have to learn some new things about what each other likes. And you're going to have to get rid of some things that maybe you do like and you can't really do because it doesn't work out well. So to honor each other, to keep together as a couple. Now we're going into the ceremony. Do you have rings to put on each other's fingers today?
Yes.
All right. So, Camille, if you will put Roceli's ring on your pinky finger, and Roceli, if you'll put Camille's ring on your pinky finger, because you're going to give them to each other. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'll start with you, Camille. Okay, so you're gathered here today to join in marriage Camille Valencia Monjon. And Camille Valencia, do you take Roceli Monjon to be your legally and lawfully wedded partner? To cleave unto
Yes,
her.
I do.
Okay, to cleave unto her, she cleaves unto you. Help her be your best, and she helps you be your best. Through sickness, health, rich, poor, fat, thin, COVID-22, wars, riots, natural disasters, ups, downs, ins, outs, acquaintances, friends, family, holidays, celebrations, jubilations, triumphs, until death do you depart.
Yes, I do.
Perfect. my witnesses, Annalisa and Florida. You heard her say yes in the affirmative. I need you to unmute to say yes to me, please.
Yes.
Okay. Say yes, please, Annalisa.
Yes.
All right. You may now put the ring. You may now put the ring on Miss Roceli's finger. Okay, and you may say any vows to her that you have prepared. Do you have any vows prepared for her today?
Yes.
Okay, it's time for you to say your vows. Put the ring on her finger and say your vows.
We've been through a lot of challenges already, and I am grateful that you never gave up on me. You continue to love me despite of my flaws, imperfections, and not to mention my irritating attitude sometimes. You are always by my side, supporting me in everything that I do. You are my number one fan. And from this day forward, I promise to be there for you, to take care of you, and to love you forever and always. Love you.
Beautiful and well said. And Amelia and Florida, you heard that okay? Or Annalisa,
Yes.
sorry. And Florida, you heard that okay?
Yes, I heard that.
Okay, Florida, Annalisa, you heard yes in the affirmative?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Now we're going the other direction. And it's Roceli Manjon, and you take Camille Valencia to be your legally and lawfully wedded partner. To cleave unto her, she cleaves unto you. To help her be your best, as she helps you be your best. Through sickness, health, rich, poor, fat, thin, code 22, blah, 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 until death do you depart.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. I just didn't think you wanted to hear all those words again on the other side. So I'm just, okay. All right. So you may now put the ring. Yes. Now put the ring on Roceli's finger, Camille. Okay. Any vows to say to her?
Thank you
Yes.
for accepting me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for accepting me, loving me, all that I am. I take you to be my best friend, partner, my other half. I vow to cherish and accept you for all that you are. I promise to love and support you, to be by your side always.
Awesome. Okay. And Annalisa, you heard that? And Farida, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Right. Because I heard you say yes to each other, Camille and Roceli. And because Florida and Annalisa also validated the fact you said yes to each other, I get to say this. By the authority vested in me by the laws of the state of Utah, I now pronounce you, Camille Valencia and Roceli Manjon, legally and lawfully married as partners. You may now hug and kiss each other as such. You're actually in the same room and you really can do that. That's awesome. So you hug and kiss each other as such. Yep. Awesome. Okay. So the rest, and you've got your recording, so I don't need to worry about that. Once I finalize your license, you'll receive certified email copies. Check them over to make sure everything is correct. Any spelling errors or anything like that could throw it out. And the expensive part is not so much the apostille itself as it is the shipping it over to whatever country it's got to go to. Sometimes that's fairly expensive. So I just don't want you to waste money, because if it's not right, you'll have to redo it. And so I don't want you to waste money. So make sure everything is correct. If everything is correct, we're good. If it's not correct, email us, reference your license number, and tell us what's wrong. You know, this is what it says. This is what it should be. All right. I did not see anything when I looked at it this morning that was out of whack. All right. So if everything's okay, then you're good to go and you can order it and you can create a happy, wonderful life together. And congratulations.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Salamat.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. Ida, thank you.
Congrats. Congratulations.
Thank you.